So guys, when you're riding, there's two types of riders. Those that have dropped their bike already and those that will drop their bike at some time in the future. Guys, my name is Rick and this is the HDVIBE channel. Watching those drops, would you believe that those motorcycles got no damage to any part of those motorcycles? And it's all due to one accessory that each one of those had installed on their motorcycle. And I'm actually going to show you how to install it on your motorcycle, as well as provide you with a discount code to save 30% off. And we'll get into all that right after this. So that's right guys, although those bikes were dropped very, very hard and there was no damage to any of those bikes, and it's really due to one accessory that they all had on their bikes, and that is motorcycle drop guards. And that is what I have here on the table in front of me. But before I kind of tell you that, I'm actually going to show you how to install it. I do have these on all of my bikes, or will have them all on my bikes. I'm actually getting ready to put this set onto the 2021 CVO Street Glide. But essentially what they do is they protect and go onto your front engine guard, your rear saddlebag guards, and underneath your primary, so that when you do drop that bike, and it will happen, even if it's just accidental or if you're actually out practicing your slow speed skills and pushing your limits, you're gonna drop the bike. I've dropped my bike on many occasions, and these will protect from it getting any damage. It's really an investment in protecting your bike. If you damaged your Harley Davidson crash guards, those are about $400 to replace. If you use Harley Davidson saddlebag guards and have to replace those and just doing it yourself, just the cost for the parts is about $260. Although I have put saddlebag guards on all of my bikes, so if you have a Street Glide, a Road Glide, a Road King Special, or any of the bikes that don't have saddlebag guards, I would highly suggest you put those on, because this does come in coverage for both the front crash guard as well as the saddlebag guards. But I will have a link to saddlebag guards that I use on my bikes. I've used for many, many years now, and they're under $60, and I'll have a discount code, and those are by TCMT. So what you get with these motorcycle drop guards are, you get two of these, and this is the bigger guard that goes up on your engine crash guard. So you get two of those with the hardware, and there's also rubber gaskets that go inside of there. You get the two of these smaller ones. Again, all of the hardware is connected. It's all in one piece. It's all well boxed. And that goes on your saddlebag guards. And then you have this piece that actually goes up underneath your primary, and I'll show you how that goes. And then there's a bolt as well as two washers that go on this. And you actually remove the two bolts that are in your primary cover underneath. And I'll show you how to do that once we get into the installation. But before I get into that, I just want to tell you a little bit about motorcycle drop guards. Jay, who owns the company, is a great guy. He is a former, and maybe still a motorcycle police officer, and he also runs motorcycle escorts down in the Houston, Texas area, and he runs this business. He is a small business based in Houston, Texas, and really put this out into the market because he felt there was a need, and he created these and actually got them patented. So you will not see another product like this on the market. If you do, it's going to be a cheap imitation. These are made of, these polished ones are actually stainless steel. And then I also have a set that are powder coated black that are also steel, then powder coated. Very durable, very thick, as you can see. So these will take a beating, and as you saw in some of those drops at the beginning of the video, again, these can take a hit and not cause damage. All right, so to install these, we're going to start up here on the front engine guard, and I'm going to start with the large drop guard. So I've taken it apart, I've taken the hardware off, and you see you've got a gasket in there. You don't want any of that showing, and then you've also got a gasket on this strap. So when you put this onto your crash guard, especially on these chopped ones, you will kind of want to see where it begins to straighten out. So then once you get the strap lined up and you still have this sort of at the straight piece, the flat portion of this crash guard, then you take your 5/32 Allen bolt, you stick that through there, and then you stick your supplied lock washer on that. And then for these front ones, they actually have these barrel nuts that go on there, and you just get that started gently, so it sort of holds it in place. And then you just repeat that on the other side. It's really important when you're putting these on that this gap here on each side is equal so that you don't get this sort of more pressure on one side or the other. You want to tighten this down equal. So I'm just going to hand tighten this to begin with. And then once I kind of get this hand tightened, I got this adjusted so that it's pretty squared up onto the crash bar. I'll go ahead then and get out my tools again, which is a 5/16 Allen to go in here, and a 1/2 inch wrench to hold these bolts. And I'm going to start this by hand at first, and then we'll flip over to the other side and just get it so it's starting to crank down just a little bit. So I've got that as well as I can do sort of hand tight. So now I'll go ahead and take my wrench, my 1/2 inch wrench, and put that on there and then begin tightening it with the Allen. Now that I've gotten it pretty well tight with the Allen, what I'll do is then just hold this bolt tight with the Allen, and I'll actually use the wrench to do the final tightening here so that we get this on here nice and tight so that we don't have to worry about it slipping off. So I'm just going to go again back and forth and do that final tightening with the 1/2 inch wrench, holding that bolt steady with the 5/16 Allen. Okay, so that's how you put the front on. Again, I did not use Loctite. Jay from Motorcycle Drop Guards, he does not use Loctite on these, but obviously if you want to use a little bit of blue Loctite on this, I think certainly feel free to do so. All right, so now we switch back here to the saddlebag area. We're going to install these smaller piece drop guards onto the saddlebag guards. Again, this is what it looks like on the inside. It does have this gasket, which you need to make sure you push that down in there and that none of that gasket is showing. If it is a little bit large, they suggest that you trim that down, but this one is fitting fine. Again, it's going to go in a similar orientation than the front, and essentially you want this sort of almost at the straight part of the saddlebag guard. So about like that. Then you'll put your strap around there, which also has a gasket, so make sure that that stays in place. And then you'll put your supplied 5/16 Allen bolt through there, like so. Put your lock washer on, and then these are not barrel nuts, these are actually just regular flat nuts for the back here. Get that a little bit started, then repeat on the other side. Make sure you got your gasket not showing in there, push that in. Put your bolt through, squeeze it a little bit, then put your lock washer on there, and put your last nut on there. Okay, so I've got that lined up, and now I'm just again going to hand tighten that. And same as with the front, you want to make sure that that gap between the strap and the actual drop guard itself is equal on both sides, so you don't get one side cranked down tighter than the other. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat that just like I did up on the front again, using my Allen here and then my 1/2 inch wrench back here to get this tightened up and aligned. And then once I get these tightened up, we'll move over to the primary cover. We're going to move down to the primary, and essentially you're going to remove the stock bolts that are right here and right here, basically at kind of the 5 o'clock and the 7 o'clock position. All right, so here's the primary guard. So you can see you got a washer and then the supplied bolts that go in there. And essentially that's how that goes in there. And then this kind of goes under the primary like this and gets tightened up. So let me go ahead and get that in there. Fit right into those same holes that the other two bolts were on. Lined up, hand tightened. Now I'll just go ahead and tighten that down again with my 5/16 Allen. And get this side in there. Use a little bit more leverage. And that's it. All right, guys, so that's how you install, and that's all about motorcycledropguards.com. Obviously, I just did the left side, so you just repeat on your front crash guard, your rear saddlebag guard, the same process. So if you want to get a set of these motorcycle drop guards, I will have a link down in the description to motorcycledropguards.com, so use that link. And then you can use this code, HDVIBE 2024, and you can save 30% on a set of these motorcycle drop guards. These will work for both your Harley Davidson touring motorcycles with, the Harley Davidson crash guards and saddlebag guard sizes. They also will work for Indian motorcycles. When you do put these on Indians, you don't put the primary piece underneath. It doesn't fit. So guys, drop some comments down below. What do you think about these motorcycle drop guards? Do you have them on your bike? Are you thinking about getting them? If you do order a set, just let me know. I'd be curious to see. If you have any questions about installing them, feel free to drop a comment. It's pretty straightforward. All the hardware is there, just 2 tools to do it. So pretty simple. So guys, if you got some value out of this video, please give it a like and hit that thumbs up. Also consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that button right down here. That really helps out the channel. And if you are a first-time subscriber, leave a comment down below saying I subscribe so I can personally reach out and thank you for supporting the channel. Also, don't forget to hit the bell icon and select all so you do get notified every time I do put out new content. I have over 200 videos on tips, tricks, rides, reviews, and installs on these Harley Davidson touring motorcycles, so there's bound to be something to pique your interest, help you with the project, and probably even save you some money either through a discount on a product, like on these motorcycle drop guards, or saving you that shop labor because you can do it yourself by following my step-by-step instructions. So guys, with that, I want to leave you with this thought. Life is short. Get out and ride the bike. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.